Final walkthrough problems in real estate. I actually just got a call yesterday about an issue regarding a final walkthrough. Buyers are set to close on Monday, and that's what we're gonna jump into in today's video. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Zach. I am the broker owner of Zach Taylor Real Estate. I oversee over 350 agents across Tennessee, Georgia, and Alabama, and soon to be another state. So I get calls all the times with contract mishaps, deals that go south. Well, yesterday, a buyer called me out of the blue. So the first thing they asked me was, hey, Zach, I think a washer and dryer should be here in the property. We're doing our final walkthrough and it's missing. What do we do? And at first I was confused because I'm not the listing agent, one of our other agents is. So they just called me directly as the broker and elevated the situation. So I was definitely curious what's going on. And then for them as well, they had a real estate agent that was representing them as the buyer's agent. So I asked, hey, I think you guys have a real estate agent, correct? Yeah, we do, but he's out of town on vacation right now. Oh, okay. And he told us to do our final walkthrough by ourselves, that he wasn't needed there. Well, that's putting your clients in a very bad situation. Again, we don't know first-time home buyers if they've done this a lot, but you as a licensed professional should probably be there for a final walkthrough or make accommodations or have somebody else experienced go there to help them out. Setting a buyer to go to a house by themselves to do a final walkthrough can set you up for liability as a buyer's agent. So of course they called me and they were concerned that, hey, we feel the washer and dryer should be in this property and it's gone. Where's it at? And I said, hold on, let me just pull up the contract real quick. So they told me the address, I looked it up, and I said, where do you guys feel or what wording says washer and dryer should be included? And they pointed to the line item. So I went there and it says all appliances per the MLS listing. And I told that to them and they're like, oh, well maybe it's on the MLS. So I went to the MLS and our agent as a listing agent, the only appliance that he mentioned in the MLS was the oven. So these buyers are out of luck. And I said, hold on, maybe it's in the seller's disclosure of what's included. So I went to the seller's disclosure and it said washer and dryer hookup, not an actual washer and dryer. So these buyers were sadly out of luck. They had an understanding that a washer and dryer should be included. They also felt that the wording all appliances as per the MLS listing meant that maybe the washer and dryer were included, but in fact they were not. Fun fact, in Tennessee, by default, the purchase and sale agreement does not include the fridge, the washer, or the dryer. You have to list these things. And so I coached up these clients real quick and I said, hey, I know that's very frustrating. You know, if my agent was the buyer's agent, I always teach our agents that you need to be able, with this contract, to be able to take it to your grandma, to somebody random on the street, and does it make sense? And if the answer is no, don't write it. So when that buyer's agent wrote all appliances per the MLS listing, you can't hand that to grandma and she knows what's going on. You can't hand that to somebody randomly passing on the street. You have to be very intentional with your wording. It has to make sense to anybody that's looking at this piece of paper, and it didn't. So they asked me, well, Zach, we really felt like it should have been included. Our agent definitely dropped the ball. We're really mad at them. And they just left us high and dry to do our own final walkthrough. What should we do? And I was like, hey, I'm not here to advise you at all because we represent the seller. This is totally on you. But they're like, yeah, but we feel like we should ask the buyer's agent for the appliances, at least to pay for them for the wash and dryer. Do you think that's fair? I said, hey, that's not really my place to say. I know I've forgotten things on contracts before, like a fridge, and I've paid for it. Your agent could do that if he truly felt like it. This agent was gonna make $10,800. So if he forgot and they told him directly, hey, we want the wash and dryer, and he thought it was satisfactory to put all appliances per the MLS, he should probably just pay for the cost real quick. Keep your clients happy, stay out of legal trouble. That's a very, very simple solution. Another solution the buyers could do is they're closing on Monday. They shouldn't penalize the sellers. The sellers did nothing wrong, but they could make their agent sweat, the buyer's agent. They could actually delay their closing. Maybe they're set to sign at 8 in the morning. Maybe they don't sign right at 8. Maybe they push it till later in the day until something can be resolved with their buyer's agent. Now, they should definitely probably close because there's nothing really legally to stop them from closing. Everything that is included is in the house and everything that's not was taken out. So again, you can't penalize the sellers or else you might be in default. But you could definitely make your agent sweat. So maybe delay when you sign. Still sign within the business day, but maybe after a couple hours, your agent's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna pay for this just to get the deal done. So there are different ways if you are a buyer to get creative. And after I went through everything with these clients, with the contract, with the MLS, with the seller's disclosure, they just felt so over the moon that I was just so transparent and honest with them. And I was honestly just trying to do right by them. I was like, hey, you guys feel this way? Let me see if there's anything in here. And unfortunately there wasn't. And they're like, you know what, Zach, you were just awesome. Anytime we get a referral for Nashville, Tennessee, we're sending them your way because you just explained everything. You sent us copies of all the documentation. This is amazing. Thank you so much. And that's what you should be doing as a real estate agent. As a real estate agent, this business is high risk, high reward. And sometimes you have to give up a little bit just to stay in the business for a long time and keep that good reputation. Your reputation can be negatively impacted in a second. All it takes is one bad person with one bad experience to ruin your name with everybody else in that sphere. Or maybe it's even your sphere of influence. Maybe it's family members, maybe it's friends. Now they had that awful experience. You forgot this thing. You didn't make it right. Well, they're gonna tell everybody and sour the batch for you. So always look to do the right thing. Quickly look for solutions. If it's under $5,000 of a problem, figure it out as a real estate agent. Put your money where your mouth is, come up with some sort of concessions, figure out a way. Because we don't want to go to court. Any legal situation, instantly, an attorney's going to charge at least a $5,000 non-refundable retainer. So it's not worth it. And they charge $250, $350, $450, $550 an hour. Again, get out of the situation. If it's less than $5,000, figure it out. If they think it's your fault, you know what? Just bite the bullet, help them out, maybe lower your commission and get the deal done. Now you have happy customers that'll recommend you to more future business. So this is how to kind of navigate a final walkthrough problem. Let's say the shoe was on the other foot. Let's say it was our listing agent and the contract did state washer and dryer to stay and they were gone. What do you do as the listing agent? Well, again, there's a lot of different solutions to this problem. So the first is obviously you want to contact the seller. You want to say, hey, the contract said these things were included. They're not here right now. What would you like to do about that? And then you throw the ball in your client's court because legally they should have left those items there. Oftentimes the seller would say, hey, I'll bring them back. My bad, that was just an overstep. Or hey, the movers accidentally grabbed them. We'll bring them back. That's a very easy solution, happens all the time. The other thing is maybe the seller pays for a like kind type of washer and dryer that the buyer is acceptable with. Or maybe the buyer picks one out that's reasonable and the seller is, hey, I will call Lowe's, I'll pay the bill, just let me know what it is. That's another solution. Another way, honestly, as the listing agent, if you didn't clearly communicate with the seller, hey, all these things should stay. Or I like to do a final walkthrough of my own as a listing agent, just to make sure there's no surprises for when the buyer's agent and buyers come through. And if I didn't do that, or I didn't prep my seller, maybe I want to step in and pay for a new washer and dryer just to get the deal done. Again, if you're making $10,000, $12,000, what's $1,500 just to make the deal happen, keep everybody happy, keep your seller a raving fan, keep the buyers happy, deal closes, and now you get referrals in the future. Think long-term, not short-term. And when we start counting every single cent, you're gonna oftentimes miss out on the dollars down the road. So this is how you navigate different final walkthrough problems in real estate.